Now I have some exciting news to share with you. I'm going to be speaking at an Artisan Summit this April 3rd and 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada. They're going to have rooms blocked off for discounts for anyone who attends. You can get your tickets at stonecoatcountertop.com/Artisan Summit. You really want to check this out. It's a summit that's made to help YouTubers learn how to build their business themselves. And they have some fantastic speakers at it. I'm lucky to be a part of them. I'll see you guys there. In a few minutes, you're going to see how I made this panel right here. You don't want to take just a regular access panel that comes with these tubs or one that you buy for the face of it. I wanted to have something different. This is going to look like it's molded into the tub when I'm finished with it. But right now, I'm going to show you how I made this panel. This right here was made with Stone Coat countertop material, 2x6s, and a little bit of mesh. Great stuff. Let's check it out. Before anything, you want to make sure your saw is unplugged. Now with the saw unplugged, we're going to take a scrap piece of wood and we're going to make our rabbet joint and adjust the height that we want. I'm going to take and adjust my blade to 11/16 because I want to make sure that my rabbet joint has enough room to fit the thickness of my metal and the 1/2 inch plywood. And my metal is 3/16 of an inch thick. So I'm going to take this with the saw unplugged and adjust the height to 11/16. You want to be right on that highest point of your carbide tip. That should be it. Now I'm going to take my table and adjust the fence the same way. Put my mask on, of course, and my goggles. Make sure you have eye protection. That should do it. We're going to go ahead and cut all our pieces that way, notch them out with our rabbet joint. I'm not going to bore you with everything, but I'm going to show you how we set up our miter joints. I'm just going to cut right here. Do the same with this one. Now when they all get put together, that's what you have. This is going to go across my tub. And when I'm finished with it, it's going to look like stone. But it's just 2x4s that I put to, or 2x6s that are ripped down to 4.5 inches. And I put a little rabbet joint all the way on the inside. I'm going to take and put this insert in it, or some type of insert. I cut a piece of plywood for that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut my mesh to go in there because I want this to match what I had in on my cabinet in the bathroom. So I marked it off slightly smaller than this plywood so it fits right in there real easily, because the metal, if it's not exact, it's going to bind on there. I'm just going to get it to where it drops right in, and we'll be able to hold it with a piece of backer. Now, I'm cutting this with a very inexpensive little dual saw. This is the double cut saw. Bought it at Harbor Freight. You can get this thing for a little over $40 with a coupon. It runs about $50, a little over $50, I think $55 normally. And it has two blades, carbide blades. One goes one way, the other goes the other. So when you cut, it doesn't get hot. It goes through this metal pretty easily, and it's going to cut this. I've used it already on a number of projects, and it works great. This is just by Harbor Freight. I'm not a huge proponent of power tools from Harbor Freight, that's for sure, but this right here is great. There's a few tools that I like from them. This is a little wax stick that goes in here. You turn the wheel, puts it up against the blade, and it helps it keep it cool while you're cutting this. When you cut metal, always wear full protection goggles. I like to make sure that they cover my eyes all the way, not just regular safety glasses, because metal can pop up and get in your eye You'll have to have it drilled out. I've had to have that done a couple of times in the past. No longer do I do stupid things like that. All right, you wear your gloves, ear protection. I'm not going to need a mask because this is not going to put up much dust. I'm just cutting the expanded sections. So let's get on it. All right, I'm going to come straight across here. I have my marks on there and back here. All right. I start off by making a little groove here, and then I'm just going to come back and forth till it cuts through. It doesn't take much to get through this, and this is pretty heavy sheet metal. Nice. All right, that's going to be a good look. But wait till I put the stone coat epoxy on here. That's when you're going to see how sweet this is. First thing I'm going to do is pour this casting right here. And it's going to be thick. So we want to take and flip this over. You see the back part where I made the rabbet joints? We're going to take this part and set it on top of visqueen. Now, if you look here, I've done a lot of different pours on this, and the epoxy will just peel right off of your visqueen. That's why it's great to lay this down when you pour your epoxy, because you can just take it right off once it dries. I'm going to take and run visqueen underneath here. So my first thing I have to do is take my mesh that I already cut, and you saw that earlier. We're going to take this, set it down here, and get it in place. Then I'm going to take my visqueen, lay it across the top of here, and I have a panel that I cut to fit exactly in this slot. So we will jam this in. I'm just going to take my stapler, my slap hammer stapler, fold this over, and this shoots T50 staples, and that'll pop it right in place. Get this good and tight. We're good. All right. That's done. This shouldn't go anywhere. I think I might even take some hot glue and run across here, because that way it can dry real fast and I don't have to wait for silicone. We're nice and level all the way around. Let me show you this. I poured something on here just the other day. You see how easy it comes off? Well, I got my buddy Elsie with me. She follows me everywhere, and I happen to be working in here. She wants to play, but you're gonna hang out with me a little while, huh? All right, I'm gonna take and start mixing this up, and I'm gonna mix 32 ounces of my epoxy. And then I'm going to take and put 16 ounces of the hardener. because this is 2 to 1. You only want 1 part hardener and 2 parts epoxy on this. You can't mix this 50-50 or you'll mess it up. Now, this gives you plenty of working time because they want it to cure slowly. If it cures too fast, it cracks and you'll have webbing in there. They don't want that. That's why with the thick pores like casting epoxy, you have 2 to 1 ratio when you mix it. All right, make sure this is good and dry and clean. Put my gloves on. I'm gonna start pouring it. Once I mix this up, I've got time to start playing with my color to get it close. When we stir this, we don't want to have bubbles all in there, right? So we're going to have to stir this by hand. Now I'll get my hardener, and I need 16 ounces of hardener. I have 32 ounces in here of the epoxy. So we're going to go up to 48 ounces. I mix this up for 12 minutes. And I'm going to mix it up a little more because I'm going to start putting some color in here. First, I want to get the opaque look. I want to mix the white until I pick it up and I can still see through it, but it'll have the color that I want. Start mixing some in. You can see already it's getting white. It's not even mixed up all the way. We don't have much in it. Put a little bit more. This stuff goes a long way. So we'll stir it. Same way. And it gives you plenty of time to work with it. So don't think you only have a couple of minutes. That's what I love about Stone Coat products. It gives you time. It's made for you to work with it. Now you see how we have a white look, but if you look here, I can kind of see through it. That's what I want. All right, I'm gonna quit right there with my white, and it didn't take much at all. See, some air bubbles will start coming up because they're underneath that cage, underneath the metal, and they'll continue to pop up as this goes back there. It's going to create air bubbles, but we just go back over it. We've got time. I can let it sit a little while, come back again, hit it again. I make sure to get these corners well. I don't want to burn my paint, but I also don't want to have any bubbles that creep up on the sides. So you want to make sure you check everything. Anytime you see a little piece of dust or anything in there, you pluck it out. We're going to let this thing dry, and when I get off of work day after tomorrow, we'll resume it. There you go. Yeah. Once you get one side worked, it'll come off because the only thing holding this really on here was the hot glue. It should be the only thing holding it. There you go. All right. That'll be easy enough to clean out. I'm just experimenting, guys. I think that's the best way to learn. Play around with things. It was an idea I came up with, and I just went with it. So there's some of the stuff. I'm going to use some LEDs, and I'll probably have some colored lights that I'm going to put behind there. now that I'm finished with this face right here, I'm happy with it. I'm gonna make this part match the tub because I want this to look like all one system. I don't want to look like this was added to my tub. Also, we're gonna take this face right here and the ledge. We're gonna match our tile with that. We're gonna use stone coat countertop material to do all of this. And I think I'm gonna make a new ledge right here. Cut this out of quartz and for my ledge, and I'm gonna make something different. I want it to match the colors that are on here, and I want to use a stone coat epoxy to do something really nice for this and my top ledge. Some cool stuff coming down the pipe. Well, that's one more project out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed watching these videos as much as I like making them. I'm really enjoying working with this stone coat epoxy. I'll see you guys on the next project. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out paulstoolbox.com for all my archive videos and also for discounts on stone coat products as well as other products that I use. I'll see you guys later. Please comment and hit like for me. I really appreciate it.